Hey everyone, Ryan Kijvecanin here. I'm going to be going over a game on Olaf for you today. This is pretty much just a tips and tricks video on what to do in the jungle. I'm just going to go over some things that maybe can help you guys out. First tip I'd give you guys is when the game starts, start playing the game the second it starts. It's important to make sure that you're proactive when you're getting into the game, and you want to pretty much use your pinging to pretty much lead your team to where you need them to go. I'm telling my team right now to go through mid lane to invade. I'd say invading is probably one of the most important things you guys can do when playing in the lower ranks, because people won't expect it. And when you have your whole team following you like this, you can pretty much run through the whole enemy jungle and take over the game off the first minute. A big portion of how I climbed in lower ranks is invading, because what people will do is they'll AFK, which means they'll stop playing and they'll just like click on something and walk away. So you see like this person over here that I'm looking at, she was smart and she decided to run down here instead of stick around up here. If she was up here, then it'd be a lot harder for their team to pretty much hold that area. So another tip I'd give you guys is when you invade, place down your ward and switch to the sweeper. Because after you're done with the sweeper, or after you're done with the ward, it takes about 3 or 4 minutes to get another one. Whereas with a sweeper, once you finish your first couple camps, you can instantly gank. And once you gank, you can get that early lead for your team. So yeah. Right now I'm heading over to my blue buff, which is pretty much essential on Olaf as a character because he spams the heck out of his mana. So yeah, so this is what's gonna happen here. We're gonna kill this guy. So they were sitting on our buffs like idiots, and they don't win level 1 obviously because I'm kicking the crap out of this guy. So they were dumb about it. So they did the same thing that we did, but they should have left. So this is their mistake. So now the game pretty much, if this Wukong top lane doesn't mess it up, he's in to just win the rest of the game off of that. Unfortunately, with the way a lot of these games go, especially in the current playstyle that the patch is in, early mistakes dictate the entire game. And if you play around focusing on your enemy's objectives, you get to worry less about your own team and focus more on like them making mistakes. And the more the enemy makes the mistake, the better off it is for you. So yeah, currently I'm playing in Platinum 3, which is I think top 10% on the server. Most players don't hit Platinum, believe it or not, but I'd say a lot of people in Silver to even, or Gold to Silver can probably go par to par with a lot of Platinum players, because what happens is a lot of people get too comfortable with the way they're playing, and they will pretty much autopilot the game. So when I say autopilot, they pretty much do something that they're comfortable with. And as you can see, that early lead is working out for Wukong because he just killed this guy again. So hopefully that he'll use this advantage to pretty much get us the win. Sorry, they're typing. Games like this are pretty free. Jungling is, I'd say, one of the harder roles in the game because you pretty much have to take control of the game, and if you don't know what you're doing or what the right move is, then your team is the one that suffers on it. So a lot of people tend to stay away from jungling. So if you're in like Iron to Platinum, I'd say if you queue jungle, you'll get it the majority of the time. I did not mean to do that. I fat-fingered my flash. New keyboard. So pretty much you have summoner spells. If you've played the game before, you would already seen that you have them. This specific summoner spell, you probably don't want to waste. I advocate to a lot of people who are under diamond to not use flash to take like stupid kills, or in fights that you think you might not be able to win. Don't waste flash. It's very valuable in terms of like securing objectives. So I just killed Scuttle Crab. Taking Scuttle control is really important. Since I see Rek'Sai just came bot lane, another tip is keep an eye out for his minion count. A minion count on an enemy jungler pretty much tells you how many camps they've killed. So four minion counts is 1 camp, essentially. I'm ganking mid lane here since I saw the enemy jungler went bot lane. I'm going to chase this person away from the wave. He's going to miss a bunch of farm. When they miss all their minions here, they lose experience. They lose gold, and that's pretty much what ends up finishing off the game. As you can see, the Wukong again, he's destroying this guy because he has nothing, he can't do anything, he's just going to sit there and lose for the rest of the game. And sometimes what ends up happening, unfortunately, is the enemy laners will just AFK, they'll just leave the game, and you're just stuck with it. There's nothing you can do. It's all based on luck at that point. You just got to hope that the people you're playing with are willing to play the game out. Based on the way this is going, though, even though I wasted my flash, this Wukong's got 4 kills, which is super uncommon for this early into the game. Early game on Olaf is particularly important because you want to spam farm for Dragon. Usually, I'd say you want to be at level 4 to 5. You can throw in ganks in between your jungle path. I usually like to start blue buff when I start Machete because it has the fastest clear. Because you can full clear from your blue, then to Gromp Wolves and go straight down to your bot side and grab Scuttle from there. And you should be level 4 when the enemy jungle is level 3, which is what we saw. So as you can see, the Rek'Sai was level 3 here when I was level 4 because I cleared more camps than him. So yeah, I'm going to look for another kill on mid lane here. Looks like our bot lane's winning now too, which is nice. So she's not paying attention. She has no mana, so I'm just going to run at her, and I'm going to just smack the heck out of her. I missed my axe. Okay, so pretty much on Olaf, if you miss your axe, your chances of you getting that kill are pretty slim. Your axes on Olaf are probably like one of your biggest tools, I'd say, for finishing off a game. Getting early kills, getting early leads. So since they just killed the enemy bot laner, another tip for you guys is when you have the lane priority, and lane priority means that, okay, that's not supposed to happen. Lane priority means that your laners right here, bot and mid, have pretty much control over where they can go, which means the minions are usually pushed to the opposite side. So this guy pretty much decided to come fight me, but he's not going to win because he's 2 levels down. See how I have more minion kills than he does? He's never going to win that. There's no way in any chance he's ever going to win that. My character is just so much stronger than his at that point. With Rek'Sai, specifically in this matchup, his whole goal is to get that knockup on you because Hail of Blades is important for bursting. It's really good early. So the faster you get out of the early game, the better it is for your character because Olaf, as a character, you can pretty much go invulnerable. I didn't level my ulti. Okay. Anyway, I'm making a bit of mistakes here because I'm using a new keyboard, but usually what happens is you want to get your lead, you want to get a bit of gold, and then you want to just reset and get back on the map as soon as possible. Getting on the map is important for early game, and you want to make sure that you're doing your best to put presence on the map. What happened there was I sold my refill pot for Warrior. Buying Warrior or finishing your jungle item in League pretty much is your strongest point as a jungler. So you want to make sure that the second you get Warrior, you either take an objective and reset, or you reset as soon as you can. Once you get Warrior and you're onto the map, pretty much no one's going to be able to contest you unless you screw up. So if you play smart and you play like very objective focused, you won't lose. So as you can see, Wukong's fighting. Again, top lane, if he dies, it's not going to be good. Unfortunately, Mordekaiser is one of those champions that allows you to take over. He won, thank God. A lot of players fail to realize that League is more of a chess game than it is like anything else, I'd say. It's very important to keep an eye out for what's going on. If you could find the enemy jungler, especially if you're playing jungle, it's good to keep an eye out. It's smart to ping things for your team, let them know that something might be happening. If you're not currently ganking for your team, then it's smart to keep an eye out for where the enemies are roaming. So as you see, Akali's laner just roamed down bot lane. So here's the enemy jungler, and I guarantee you that Ahri is going to show up there because she's following the roam. So there she is. So it's pretty much like a game of chess. There's people that do certain movements, and there are certain like repercussions for those things. Wow, he actually got that. So yeah, that ended up working out for them because our bot lane traded 2 for 2 instead of just dying. It's important that if you are not ganking, you're farming and taking objectives. You can do either on Olaf. A lot of people like to do the objective-focused Olaf. For me, I like fighting a lot because the character's a lot stronger early on, and you can pretty much get that early lead. As you can see, you take this pretty quick. Usually, people don't take Rift Herald that quick. A lot of people fail to take Rift Herald early. It's very important to take Rift Herald early. Right now, I see on my map that these guys are fighting, so I'm going to rotate up here. If he doesn't get this kill, then I will help him. Let me see if I can do this real quick. I don't want to fail this super hard, but... Okay, I did mess it up, but he's still dead, so it's fine. Okay, I might die for that. Okay, no, I didn't. We're good. So I ganked the top laner there because he was low. It was okay to waste flash there because I used Rift Herald to take tower. Getting early plates is an easier way of snowballing the game. So I just helped him out there a bit. Hopefully Wukong beats this guy. So he does. So pretty much what happened there was I took Rift Herald. I looked top lane. I saw that my top lane, who was in the winning position, decided to fight. I dove under tower here to secure the kill, and we got first tower by 10 minutes into the game. So all of that ends up pretty much working out in our favor. Nothing went wrong there aside from the fact that I died, but it was a necessary sacrifice in order to make sure that my team gets where they're supposed to. As you can see, this Wukong's trying to cheese these guys, and she's not even paying attention. A big part is make sure you're looking at your screen. I wouldn't say it's bad to watch other things happening, but if you're trying to focus on winning your lane, you really want to pretty much watch what's happening at all times. Unless you're looking out for your team in terms of like roams and ganks, I'd say it's pretty important to focus on yourself. So yeah, if you're particularly new to this game, I wouldn't worry too much about kiting camps or anything like that. I'd focus on making sure that you take jungle camps and make sure that you're ganking, finding good opportunities to get kills. Maybe assisting your team with pings, leading them through invades. Invading is one of the most important things you can do early on, as I mentioned before. A lot of the stuff you should do will end up being second nature if you do it properly. I would recommend watching streams of League to make sure that you you can pick up tips and stuff. It's sometimes okay. So I'm using my sweeper here to look for wards. I'm looking at my map here, watching this Rek'Sai. So she just flashed for nothing. I'm gonna ult here, and I'm 1v2ing here, so I'm pretty much just killing all of them, because why not? See if I can kill her. Oh, I might be dead. Okay, so she outplayed me there. I dove tower, and I ended up dying for it, but it's okay, because we're that far ahead that it doesn't really matter that we're making mistakes here. It might end up mattering, but at this point in time, people are just doing their own thing. It's very autonomous. The game will just it goes just the way it does. I don't know how to describe it. It's more of like it'll flow like a river or a stream almost. You sort of just got to go with the flow. A big problem that people have with this game is that they have a hard time adapting to the changes. Adapting on the fly is one of the biggest things you can do in this game. Knowing what the right move is usually like very important. As you see, she wasn't paying attention here, and I pointed out to her that she was getting attacked. Did she kill her? Oh, it's worth. Okay. So she did the smart thing and she turned on the lower health target. Usually that's always the move, is you want to turn on the lower health target. Let's help her. I think he's just dead. Yep. Okay, so they're going to kill him. And now that the enemy jungler is dead, I want to focus on the objective on the map. Currently, dragon's the objective on the map. A lot of the times in games, if you can get all 4 dragons and end up with your dragon soul, chances are you're going to end up winning. It's very important to focus on objectives, especially if you're choosing a champion like Olaf who focuses on farming, fighting, and taking objectives. A lot of the times, you're going to play champions that focus solely on ganking, but that means you're leaving up a lot of things to your team to have them be the ones who dictate it. And as a jungler, it's very important to make sure that you are in control, because if you aren't, then you're leaving a lot of the responsibilities up to someone else. Another tip and trick is if you see the health of the tower is low, let it die. Let the tower get lower so they lose the plate. It's important because plates give gold, and if they lose out on the plate, then they lose out on a lot of gold. So as you can see, Wukong's roaming right now. I wouldn't say it was the smartest choice for him, but he's leaving Mordekaiser up here to just farm. I think I can just go up here and kill him because he's weak, and he died 6 times. So I'm just going to come up here and start smacking on him. I don't think he's going to be able to do anything about it, if I'm being honest. So he ulted me, and I used my ult to counter it. Do I die here? I do die here. Okay, I just got killed. Funny enough, Mordekaiser has Ignite. I was not paying attention there. It's important to realize things like that. The only reason I lost that, I would say, was because of his Ignite. He also has a Bramble Vest there. So he made it. So what happens is with Ignite and Bramble Vest, you have something called Grievous Wounds, which stops you from healing. And a big part of Olaf's kit is it allows him to heal off of the damage he's doing. So when you take away that healing, you pretty much lose a lot of your a lot of what makes your champion, strong. So he ended up winning that. He has a lot of armor. I thought for sure I could have taken it, but I guess I wasn't, too confident on the amount of damage I was doing. That guy just killed himself. Based on the way the game's going, should still be fine. Wukong's really strong. A lot of our champions here that we have are very team fight oriented, so I'm not too worried that we'll have a hard time fighting. It's also a lot harder to focus on the game when you're trying to give descriptions of things, so it's going to be a little bit different for you guys when you're focusing solely on the play of the game. It's a little harder for me to do both at the same time, but it's like, it's sort of natural at this point with a lot of the stuff I'm doing. Usually if you have a lot of downtime, which means you have like 4 or 5 minutes in between objectives here, you want to take your jungle camps and you want to look for openings on the map. As you can see, everyone's pretty much in their own spot. The Wukong is still roaming. He, I guess, doesn't feel the need to go and fight. In this situation, I'd say it's worth it because he's going to dive bot lane here. And chances are they'll end up with a kill because of it. It's a lot different than playing solo queue. When you're with a team, you'll be communicating pretty much the whole time on what's going on. You can focus more on like making stuff happen rather than trying to make sure your team does well, I'd say. With competing in esports, ranks sort of, they split apart a little bit. Your rank doesn't really matter as much when it comes to that sort of thing. You just need to know that you know the game enough to make things happen. Playing League competitively is also a lot of fun. You get to play with your friends and you get to pretty much play against schools, maybe people you know. The competitiveness is awesome. I'd say League is one of the most competitive games that they have, and picking it up as like an everyday game is not that hard, and you can choose when you want to play and how often you play, which is nice. And definitely playing competing adds another aspect to the game that you wouldn't normally have. Playing in a competitive level like with a team, it's a lot of fun, and it's something that a lot of players try to do, especially because like I said, it adds something to the game, and you definitely get to learn a lot, because if you're playing on a team, you get different points of view on stuff, and you really get to learn more about your teammates and yourself, especially when you're playing the game. You get to learn each other's strengths and weaknesses, and that's how you work on it. That's how you get better. So even if you're good at the game, a lot of players have a lot to learn, and there's not something that you can't learn from playing this game. Pretty much make of it what you will, and you'll definitely learn if you put in the effort for it. So thanks for listening. Go Pirates!